Hi there, today I would like to prove that a three-dimensional object, an object like this, a transformer, is in essence not a material, neither a spatial object, but that it is at least made of energy, as Einstein pointed out, or an inner force as Aristotle and Leibniz pointed out. A later question of how that energy can be formed, for example via idea thoughts, raises the question how one can enter and partake in ideas, and who created them. These questions are prepared but not raised, neither answered directly in this particular video blog. Another way to interpret this proof is that it proves that a mathematical zero-dimensionless point does not exist. It appears for our senses in our everyday ordinary use of our senses that objects are material and are in space, therefore are both material and spatial. Space is defined mathematically within the argument, meaning it is homogeneous, and quantitative, meaning no place in space is qualitatively worth more in itself than any other place. The argument consists of four steps, connected to four fingers, that together should form a hand. The connection also enables you to memorize better. I hope you will shake this hand, my hand, in becoming actively passive for this argument. So you may grow an extra hand to receive more insights from more video blogs or books. The index finger. Step 1 is to realize that space is not material, for matter exists in space. Therefore, space itself cannot be spatial. Material objects are finite, so space is not finite, just infinite, both infinitely big and infinitely small. The pink. Step 2. If a three-dimensional object consists of two-dimensional flat planes and these planes consist of one-dimensional lines with a length, these lines must consist of zero-dimensional points and moreover must consist of infinite amount of points, for a plane consists of infinite amount of lines and three-dimensional objects consist of an infinite amount of planes. The middle finger. Step 3. In answering what a point is, I can make my point. If a point is material, it has a certain length or width, and that would make a finite line consisting of infinite points, making it an infinite line and making three-dimensional objects infinite and as big as space. At this point, we could also conclude that there is really just one material object, but that is clearly wrong, for that would mean you and I are the same, which is clearly not the case, for we are both endowed with singular souls that can move their own bodies via the spirit. The ring finger. Step 4. Could the point be infinitely small, as an infinite small space, a dimensionless point? No, for if the point is 0 and the line consists of infinite amount of points, we have to calculate infinity times 0, which is just 0. If a line does not have a size, an object does not have a size. The concluding thumb. So, an object is neither material nor spatial. What is it? First of all, the object is in time, so I would suggest it is temporary. What is time? That I will answer later, but for now I would state that the object is a temporary inner force that is fourth-dimensional insofar it is a force and five-dimensional insofar it is temporary. When talking about incongruent counterparts and tangled objects like my two hands, I will even prove that these objects are outside space and that space is inside your hands. Is that a logical necessary conclusion? Not at all, for this argument could also just conclude that points are pointless, and that points, lines and planes do not exist, but objects do exist in a numberless dimension. Mathematics is not the way to discover what the object is, and even words like object and dimension are too mathematical. And the word energy is too scientific. I have never met or seen an object, and would rather speak about a phenomena or a phenomenon with inner force and that we encounter. When encountering a phenomenon, a handshake with another human, for example, or an encounter with a dog, it is useless to speak about phenomena that are outside a mathematical homogeneous sphere. Space is qualitatively speaking in terms of here, there, nearness, something far away, and higher and lower. These qualities are not merely subjective, contrary to an objective mathematical space. If the salt is not near, it is ridiculous to ask you to pass me the salt, and it is also not a coincidence that if we think about what is outside space, we look upon the heavens. So before you feel the urge to go to the next video, gaze upon the heavens at least 5 times. Thank you very much and goodbye.